Bonjour YouTube, welcome back to our channel. We're back in Versailles and today we've got something super special for you. We're going to be discovering the exhibition of Le Grand Dauphin, the son of Louis XIV. On y va!
It's not only me eating all the time, it's also Anton. It's him who's recording, so it looks like it's me all the time eating, but no. Anton also eats at the same time.
I'm not eating, I'm having coffee. He's lying. He's lying. We're back in Versailles. Yes, for the 22nd or 23rd time. I don't even know how many times, but we love it here. So today we're taking you to a special exhibition of Le Grand Dauphin. So we'll go and check it out right now. Let's see how it is. We have no idea which part it will be, but I am guessing it's going to be in the Appartement de Dauphin as well. So same place where we had recorded the episode of Bernin or Bernini, the exhibition. So yeah, let's see.
Today we are back in Versailles for a very special occasion. We are going to take you to the exhibition dedicated to Le Grand Dauphin, son of Louis XIV, who became the father of the king, but never ruled himself. This exceptional exhibition brought together 250 works at the Château de Versailles and was held here until February 15th of this year. We planned to publish this episode a bit earlier, but life happened and kind of disturbed the editorial planning of the channel. The great news is we have a lot of content to share with you all, so don't forget to subscribe if you haven't yet and activate the notification bell to be sure to receive our latest releases. The exhibition took place in the Salle d'Afrique et de Crimée, just above Les Salles de Croisade, that we covered a little over a year ago. If you haven't seen that video, it is in the pinned comment below.
And this is where this exhibition starts. In 1660, in the coastal town of Saint-Jean-de-Luz, near Biarritz, Louis XIV married Marie-Thérèse d'Autriche, eldest daughter of the King of Spain. This union was not born of passion, but of diplomacy, a marriage intended to seal the peace between France and Spain after decades of conflict.
The Treaty of the Pyrenees, concluded the previous year, had brought to an end the long Franco-Spanish War, born earlier in the context of the 30 Years' War between 1618 and 1648. Within this delicate political framework, a child born of this union would embody the promise of stability, both for the throne and the realm. The memory of La Fronde, the recent rebellion of the nobility against royal authority, still lingered, making the hope of a royal birth a powerful symbol of continuity and order.
Marie-Thérèse soon became pregnant, and her pregnancy was treated with both devotion and ritual. On November 1st, 1661, at the Château de Fontainebleau, a son was born, the Dauphin. The firstborn heir to Louis XIV granted the unprecedented title of Monseigneur. Contrary to the centuries-old tradition of addressing the king's eldest son as Monsieur le Dauphin, Louis XIV, and therefore the court, decided to have him called simply Monseigneur from birth. The title Grand Dauphin came later, around 1682, at his son's birth, the Duc de Bourbon. Celebrations erupted across the kingdom. In Paris, the famed Carousel of the Tuileries, and abroad in Rome, where the Pope commissioned Bernini to stage grand festivities.
From the earliest years, the young prince's image was circulated, including portraits commissioned for Spain, now part of the Museo del Prado collection. Speaking of Spain, we loved spending a weekend there and welcome you to check our trip episode in the pinned comment below if you haven't watched it yet. We had a blast. At 2 years old, the Dauphin was depicted wearing the Order of the Holy Spirit, received at his birth, a delicate hand resting upon a crown, symbolizing the authority he would inherit. A year later, he appears with his mother in a sumptuous à la polonaise outfit, reserved for festivals and carnivals. His younger sister Marie-Thérèse of France, known as La Petite Madame, was later portrayed with a citron, a luxurious fruit whose long conservation would allude to the hope of a long life, but tragically unfulfilled in her case, as she died young along with 4 other siblings. The Dauphin's baptism was deliberately delayed until 6.5 years, due to the high infant mortality and the extraordinary expense of royal rites.
The Dauphin's education was firmly situated within a feminine sphere. From the age of 4, he observed military drills and troop reviews, absorbing the visual and symbolic power of warfare. Under the supervision of Louise de Prix de la Motte Audancourt, appointed in 1664, nurses, governesses, and chambermaids tended to his daily life. Even in this intimate domestic sphere, education was rigorous. Religion, reading, writing, arithmetic, Latin, and the rudiments of history and geography were instilled with disciplined care. Louis XIV, wishing that his son be better prepared than he himself had been, personally monitored his progress.
At 7, he passed to the men, entering the more formalized sphere of male tutors and educators. He grew up between Saint-Germain-en-Laye, Les Tuileries, and Versailles, to the rhythm of ceremonies and power lessons. Charles de Sainte-Maure, Duc de Montazier, became his governor in 1668. The Dauphin's education now encompassed history, law, diplomacy, mathematics, physics, and geography. The exhibition shows the Dauphin's writing notebooks. He was introduced to Spanish, the language of his mother. Music, poetry, and the arts were equally emphasized. Early exposure to hunting and equestrian skills prepared him for military command, following the king to campaigns from the age of 13.
However, his first formal command wouldn't come until 27 years of age during the War of League of Augsburg, taking Philipsburg in October 1688, which brought victory to France and a multitude of celebrations across the country. Following Philipsburg, Le Grand Dauphin increasingly turned to music, hunting, and the arts.
But let's dive a little into his personal life. At the time, the Electorate of Bavaria was without doubt the most powerful Catholic state within the Holy Roman Empire, and winning it over to France's side was essential for Louis XIV. In 1670, an alliance treaty was ratified, already including the future marriage of Princess Marianne de Bavière to the Dauphin. This diplomatic project would take nearly a decade to come to fruition. After a marriage by proxy, the young Dauphine left Bavaria and met her new family at court in March 1680. From this union were born 3 sons, the Duc de Bourgogne in 1682, Duc d'Anjou in 1683, and Duc de Berry in 1686. With 3 male heirs secured, the future of the Bourbon dynasty seemed assured. The death of Queen Marie-Thérèse in 1683 elevated the Dauphine to First Lady of the kingdom. At Versailles, she installed herself in the Grand Appartement de la Reine. In the early years, the couple appeared united, sharing a passion for entertainments, festivals, and courtly pleasures. Yet, the Dauphin's infidelities, coupled with the Dauphine's successive miscarriages, gradually eroded this harmony. Exhausted by grief, repeated pregnancies, and the relentless demands of court life, she died in 1690, leaving Monseigneur widowed and his sons motherless. To extend Bourbon alliances across Europe, a double marriage sealed ties with the powerful Duchy of Savoy. Marie Adélaïde and Marie-Louise Gabrielle wed the Duc de Bourgogne and the Duc d'Anjou respectively. On November 1st of 1700, the childless death of Charles II the Habsburg, King of Spain and vast imperial domains, transformed the Dauphin's second son, the Duc d'Anjou, into Philippe V, founding the enduring Bourbon dynasty of Spain, which continues to rule the country to this day. Monseigneur, therefore, became the father of a king.
Louis XIV nurtured his son's aesthetic sensibilities, encouraging him to form a cabinet of all the most beautiful, rarest, and most curious things in 1681. His final Versailles apartment, that existed from 1683 to 1711, concentrated riches in 3 rooms. Louis XIV loaned royal masterpieces, ensuring his heirs proper standing. The Dauphin became an avid collector, assembling bronze, porcelain, gems, and objets d'art. Approximately 730 gems, hearthstone vases, and crystals surpassed even royal holdings in quality and number. Much passed to Philip V, now enriched in Spanish royal collections. We are particularly glad to see some of the items presented from Spain, because over there, the rules are very different for tourists and many of the rooms in their palaces and museums don't allow any photos to be taken, with security literally chasing people around.
At Meudon, swapped from Choisy in 1695, he created his sanctuary with Friar Petitcourt, always loyal to the crown. At the age of 49, in 1711, Monseigneur contracted smallpox and took to his bed at Meudon on April 9th. Adored by the people, Parisian women visited his bedside as his father joined him in anguish. Brief recovery shattered. His head swelled, convulsions struck, and he died unconscious on April 14th. Louis XIV feared suffocating from grief, facing woes beyond imagining. Disaster cascaded, and the following year saw Duke and Duchesse de Bourgogne, his son and daughter-in-law, succumb, followed by little Louis, Duc de Bretagne. Only the younger Duc d'Anjou survived to become France's 4th Dauphin, ascending as 5-year-old Louis XV in 1715. Never king, Monseigneur faded swiftly. No Saint-Denis monument, just Saint-Simon's venom, drowned in fat and apathy. His meticulously prepared destiny ended prematurely, yet his Bourbon legacy endured through Louis XV and Spain's Philip V.
Monseigneur's overlooked life reveals absolute monarchy's ambitions, pleasures, and its epic fragility. In these halls, Château de Versailles resurrected the perfect heir, son of a king, father of a king, but never king himself. And that's it for today. We hope you liked this episode. If you would like to see more of these videos, please don't forget to like, share, and comment below. And until the next one, au revoir.